What is going on, YouTube? My name is Lucas, and today I'm going to be providing a video on HUMBL. And the reason is because I feel like we're in that phase right now where we can be expecting some positive catalysts, some positive news at any moment, any time now. I'm going to provide you kind of just some updated information, and I really want to cover an article that was written by the Market Realist. I really think that this is a good article and a good perspective from not only a bullish perspective, but also a bearish standpoint. And I think it has a lot of good content in it. So if you're interested in HUMBL, because I know a ton of you are, I suggest you stay tuned right after this. But before we dive in and start talking about NFTs, before we start talking about the HUMBL app, before we start talking about everything HUMBL related, I ask that you guys smash that subscribe button, smash that like button, comment down below, and now it's time to get into the video. Let's go. You know, we understand that this stock, this company has endured a lot in the last month. I mean, they are working non-stop. They're putting in the time, they're putting in the effort. I mean, this company is doing a lot, and they're trying to really do an incredible amount for this company, for this stock, for the investors. I mean, this company truly has a vision. The CEO, Brian Foote, has a vision, and they are trying to knock it out of the park. No pun intended, especially with baseball season being here, and the fact that they have NFTs tied to Major League Baseball players. You know, honestly, I do feel that this company has a direction in which they want to head, and no matter what the situation is, they're going to accomplish those tasks, and they want to accomplish those tasks for not only themselves but for investors. And honestly, they're trying to just really bring something to the market that is absolutely phenomenal, and like Brian Foote always says, a one click away. So I'm excited still for this opportunity. I'm still excited for this stock and this company. I'm going to bring you some information, an article that was written by the Market Realist, and I do think that there is a bearish standpoint in this, but I do think that it has a very good piece of information, and I do think it has some bullish tendencies at times. So what I'm going to do is go through this, really read it to you, and see what you guys think. Put it down in the comment section, let me know. So it starts off, HUMBL stock wants to be everything. I would have to agree. I do think that they want to be everything, and rightfully so. They're bringing everything into an app, and it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. It said might end up being nothing. So this was written on April 22nd. It says HUMBL stock fell over 36% on April 19th and now has almost 79% from its 52-week highs. CEO Brian Foote was on CNBC last week. It's a rarity for a penny stock to get showcased on the channel. The company has also filed its 2020 annual report. Why is HUMBL stock dropping, and should you buy or sell this stock now? I do have to agree with that right there. The fact that a penny stock, an OTC, went on to CNBC, that is a rarity. That truly is a rarity. Just being given the opportunity was incredible, and that's something as an investor we should just look at as a positivity. Yes, he was blindsided with the question, we believe, from a revenue standpoint. He tried to answer it, kind of evaded it, came back to it, and really gave the best possible answer. I think it's just an incredible piece, the fact that HUMBL was on CNBC, and that's something we should take from that. HUMBL's business plans are very elaborate. It has three main business verticals focusing on different industries. It's launching HUMBL Pay, which would compete with the likes of PayPal. HUMBL Financial has launched the Block Exchange Traded Index, which is the ETXs. It says which will enable a buyer to invest in a basket of cryptocurrencies. It says the company is also partnering with athletes for NFTs, non-fungible tokens, which we're aware of. As of right now, we know that Johnny Cueto is on board, and we know that Nelson Cruz is on board. We know that there's potentially even more. From the CNBC interview, I heard that there was some rumors that Aaron Rodgers could be involved. So there are a few athletes that we have not really even been exposed to yet that could be potential athletes a part of the NFTs. But we are aware that Nelson Cruz and Johnny Cueto are a part of this. So continuing on, it says the financial vertical would compete with several financial and NFT companies. That's also something to think about, is that they really are going to compete with a ton of companies because they're really trying to encompass so much with this. It says finally the e-commerce vertical called Marketplace has Humble Studios, which features products from third-party sellers, and Humble Shop, which has merchandise from Humble. Through Humble Studios, Humble intends to bring small businesses from across the world on its platform to help them reach a global audience. I think that's significant just from that standpoint alone, is that you're bringing and helping small businesses. That's very significant. So it continues to say it also features some well-known artisans. The business would compete with companies like Etsy. So yet again, you're seeing another competitor that is big time. Etsy is big time. Obviously, like they mentioned earlier, PayPal is big time. And Humble is going to be competing with them and really putting on a show against them. I like the fact that they're doing this. So the big question, and we're all asking this question, why is Humble stock dropping? It says, while Humble has massive plans for its business, investors are questioning the execution. In the interview, CNBC, while Foote said that the company is making revenue and is adding customers for its ETX platform, the 2020 annual report didn't show any revenues. However, the company launched the ETX product in 2021, and we will see the revenue contribution in upcoming earnings. I think that is a significant piece because, yes, we are aware that the ETX is just launched. We are aware that that is generating revenue, but we also are aware that that just happened. So we know that they're generating revenue. We know that that's coming. It just didn't happen immediately. This is a up-and-coming company, ladies and gentlemen. This isn't something that is a flash in the pan that is going to happen overnight. They're trying to, they're attempting to, they're working what seems like 24 hours, and they're putting in the time, putting in the effort. They just acquired Tickery. So they're doing everything they can at the moment, but this is still something that we want to be done in a process that is accurate. We want this to be done where, the time and the effort is put in and you're not getting a half, as I would say, half-ass product. You're still wanting to get something that is the best of quality with the effort in 110%. So I can't emphasize that enough, that this is not something that's going to happen overnight. So it continues to say Humble's 2020 annual report also showed the massive impending dilution. It had 974,218,599 outstanding shares as of April 14th. And it says, however, the annual report talked about the 552,522 Series B preferred shares, which we also saw that there was a tweet from Brian Foote, as you guys can see right here, where he basically stated that he would not be, acting upon those in 2021 or 2022. So that was extremely significant, and I think that was positive as well. So it continues to say preferred shares that can be converted into 10,000 Humble common shares each. This would mean an additional 5,522,220,000 Humble shares on conversion. So that is also something to really think about here in the near future. But like he said, this is something that will not be executed in 2021 or 2022. So it says Humble stock warrants. At the end of 2020, Humble issued 262,725,000 warrants with a weight average exercise price of, looks like, right around 24 cents. All of the warrants are in the money and would be exercised over the next 2 years. This would mean Humble outstanding shares rising by 5,787,945,000, which would lead to a massive dilution. So we understand that that is there. It says the outstanding share count would rise almost 6.8 billion after the conversion. We do realize that a reverse split did occur already, and honestly, there is a chance that this could eventually happen again down the road. Fingers crossed it doesn't and they find a way to figure something out, but that is always something that could happen again. So it says Humble's plans to list on the NASDAQ. This is a very positive piece. This is something that was talked about, obviously, in the CNBC interview, and it has been talked about before. It says Humble has filed its audited 2020 annual report, which is a precondition for listing on the NASDAQ. The company plans to uplist from the OTC exchange to the NASDAQ, which might lead to higher volumes. I mean, might is out of the question. I think it will is the real thing. So it says trading volumes aren't really a concern for Humble stock even now. There are two main issues that investors should be concerned about, and this is where I think you get a little bit bearish, but in all honesty, sometimes we need to be hit with that. It said the first, of course, is the execution part. Announcing plans to become the next Amazon, PayPal, and Square is one thing, but execution is questionable. I don't know if it's really truly questionable. I think we are seeing this company do what they're needing to do. They're laying out the timeline. They're putting in the effort. We're seeing the app roll out. We're going to be talking about that a little bit later in this video, how phase 1 already came out, phase 2 is next, and then there's a phase 3. And I think we're seeing the app physically work. Yes, there were some kinks, but that's expected. They got to work those out. So when it says that, execution is questionable, I don't know if that's really the case. So obviously that's a bearish standpoint, but you can also counter that with exactly what I just said. It says, secondly, based on almost 1.8 billion outstanding shares, assuming conversion of all the warrants and preferred shares, Humble has a pro forma market capitalization of over 11.3 billion. Since we don't have the most recent financials and credible forecast, we would have to look at alternate valuation mechanisms. So like I stated earlier, guys, obviously Brian Foote put out that he will not be exercising his Class B until probably 2023, maybe even beyond that. So that's something to really consider about that. And then obviously you have the warrants that can be exercised after 2 years. I think that there's probably a little bit more stipulation that goes involved in that, but that is something that we have to be considerate about when you're investing into this. It says if the company can succeed in even one of the 3 businesses that it's targeting, it can be a multi-bagger stock. I think that's funny. It makes me laugh. However, given the recent crash in speculative growth names, investors don't seem to have much appetite for these future earnings plays. Humble continues to be a speculative play. Yes, we knew that as an investor going into an OTC. At one point, this thing was trading, way down. I think even in like 7 cents, even below that. I mean, you are talking about a speculative play. Anything that you're trading on an OTC is a speculative play. I mean, so we're aware of this, and if you're an investor, you should have been aware of this by doing your due diligence, doing your homework. So that right there, kind of brush that off. It says investors can take a small speculative bet in the company, but its risk being nothing in a bid to become everything. I would have to disagree. Obviously, I am a bull on this. I do believe that this company has a good direction. I think that they are led by a great CEO. Honestly, if it wasn't Brian Foote, I may have some question marks, but with Brian Foote having a lot of connections, the team that he's assembled in there, honestly, I'm completely a bull on this. I think that they really do have a good future. I think that they're competing in the right sector. Blockchain, they're in, obviously, crypto. They're doing everything that they should be doing when it comes to all the plays that they're involved with. So very, very, very bullish on this. And I do like to read articles like this because then it kind of allows you to challenge yourself and compare, what you feel versus what they're feeling. But now what I'm going to do is provide you a little bit more information on the Humble Pay aspect and really kind of talk about the app that has been released and then the phases. And the reason is because that's going to help counter some of the information that I read. So this was written on April 19th, and it says Humble launches Humble Pay mobile application. Seamlessly connecting consumers and merchants in the digital economy has announced the launch of its first version of the Humble Pay mobile application. The Humble Pay mobile app will allow customers to discover merchants, pay, tip, rate, and review those same merchants in contactless transactions. It says the firm has also integrated ticketing into the Humble Pay mobile application for customers seeking to find and purchase tickets to live events. Another piece that this article had not even touched on, and I think that this is a significant revenue generator because they did acquire Tickery. It says financial services along with third-party credit and lending offers. That'll be in the U.S. only. The company is planning to roll out Humble Pay mobile app in phases. So obviously we're aware phase 1 has occurred. You're talking about the United States, Canada, Mexico, Australia, Singapore, and New Zealand. It'll be nice to hear some updated numbers, how many downloads they had, and really the feedback that they received based on what it launched. The next phase is a tremendous amount of countries. You're talking Austria, Belgium, you're talking Bulgaria, Switzerland, Cyprus, Czech Republic, Germany, Denmark, Estonia, Spain, Finland, France, UK, Greece, Hungary, Ireland, Italy, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Latvia, Malta, Netherlands, Norway, Poland, Portugal, Romania, Sweden, Slovenia, Slovakia occurring in the coming weeks. So in the coming weeks, I mean, honestly, that could be any coming weeks. You know, they've done this before where they said in the coming weeks, and it was pretty accurate. So I would expect that this to be rolling out very soon, and that is going to be a significant amount of countries you're hitting. Finally, in phase 3, you're talking about Brazil, India, Hong Kong, Japan, Malaysia, and then and then it says the mobile pay application is being built in a modular capacity to support regional customization and future roadmap features, such as peer-to-peer transactions, digital asset investing, and blockchain NFTs, and further expansion to the broader list of countries than those listed above, so even more are expected to come. We've come to my favorite part of any video, and that's chart breaking down time, so let's swing on over here, check out HMBL, HUMBL INC. So today it opened at $1.64. He got as high as $1.65. Its low was $1.37. Its volume is 14.42 million. Market cap currently is 1.331 billion. 52-week high is $7.72. 52-week low is 0. Average volume is 18.30 million. It closed today at $1.40. That was down 15.15%. And you guys are going to see this in this 1 month chart. That has basically been this trend. And like the article said, it's just been trending down for a period of time now. It is extremely, extremely crazy to think because, honestly, the week they had where they announced they had the conference call. They had the app release. They had a CNBC interview. They also are doing all kinds of announcements that are coming with different things. So, this is exciting times as an investor. I appreciate you swinging by and checking out this video on HUMBL. And like I say many, many times, this will not be the last video. I can assure you that. I do remind you guys, I am not a financial advisor, and anything I say in this video is for pure entertainment purposes only. And that's exactly what I'm here to do, is entertain. And you guys know how I do it. If you like this video, smash that like button. It helps out tremendously. And if you enjoy the content, because I'm going to keep the content flowing, subscribe to my YouTube channel. And as always, have a good day.